I was going to mention that to you. I thought you caught it. I looked when I joined, it said recording in progress.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Healthcare professionals' clinical training, experience. Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 57th Public Meeting for Testimonials. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. Today is Monday, August 9th, 2021, and I think we're ready to begin entertaining testimonials of the plasma technology here in today's meeting. And I guess we can start off by asking if anyone has anything they would like to present offhand here. We do have a couple of things lined up. Does anyone have anything they would like to present at the beginning here, today's meeting? Well, I think maybe Mark, would you like to go ahead with your testimonial of the Keshe Foundation soap? Maybe we can begin with that.
Sure. Would you mind pulling up the website and showing the soap?
Sure.
I haven't been on it in quite a while, and I've wanted this soap for about 6 months, but one of the distributors said they'd get it to me, and apparently their order came in delayed, as everything is delayed, and there are supply shortages, but and more of a demand in the Keshe Foundation store. So I just received them Saturday. Came in a beautiful box. Let's be young, it says. It's the Keshe Plasma GANS soap bar. And this soap bar is a natural, handmade GANS oil soap. Now, I'm not sure what that means. GANS oil soap. There were no ingredients listed on it. We know there's GANS in there. And on a Sunday morning, I decided to take a bath with the cup number 1, 3 liters of cup number 1, and I used the soap in the bath. It is a beautiful bar. It's nicely displayed. I sent that distributor a picture of it. I actually had 2 soap dishes, and I used a little satin cloth. Maybe we'll share that at one time. But anyway, I took a bath with the cup 1, 3 liters, and the soap bar. Very luxurious soap. The price, it might be steep. Of course, it'll come down with the economies of scale. What are they selling it for these days? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, it's something like $18.
Says, 5 pieces for 69 euros.
Right. So rather expensive by soap standards, but it's a luxurious soap. Oh, here it is. Coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil. I didn't even read any of this. Oh, very nice. But I will say, after taking a bath with it, then after the bath, taking a shower, I was probably in there 45 minutes or so. I still have a residual on my skin, which is very soft and smooth. So I thought that was amazing. And washing your hair with it, just putting a little bit on your hand, rubbing it on your hand, making up a lather. The lather is as thick as a shampoo lather. Now, my hair is only maybe a ½ an inch long or 3/4 of an inch long. It lathered up quite nicely. So I was thinking you can probably eliminate shampoos, depending on, very expensive shampoos. Some of these things are as well. And of course, one of the other main reasons is, and perhaps Rick, I'm not sure if the GANS does stick to the skin or not. Any of the fields stick to the skin, and maybe by having some oils in it, it does leave a nice residual, but it also maybe creates some sort of shielding in a way. I'm not exactly sure, and some of these knowledges in the products are proprietary. But one of the other reasons of using it is to release some of the GANS material into the environment. And we know the GANS has intelligence, it can absorb emotions, and Mr. Keshe says it knows where to go and what to do in balancing. We also know when you use the plasma waters that the GANS takes from the body what it doesn't need and gives to the body what it does need. So working with these fields, and the GANS are like little suns, and there's all types of GANS that can be made, but Mr. Keshe has been playing with these things, and I'm sure these are proprietary formulas and so on and so forth. And in conjunction with a hand soap maker, created a beautiful gift. I would encourage everyone to go to the store and buy it, give it off as beautiful gifts. It'll introduce other people to the technology, and sometimes it just works behind the scenes, and someone may become more interested in the knowledge of the Keshe plasma technology just by using the soap bars. So again, I would encourage anyone to go to the store and look through some of these products. We're starting to get some amazing testimonies coming in from different people at different times. They're not all recorded or anything, and that's in progress. But very soon, I think there'll be so many people with testimonials that will probably not be able to handle it, Rick. Today, we're on the little sparser side, and people's schedules are so busy, we know that. But I would just encourage everyone to purchase these. I would rate it the best soap I've ever used, and I've only used it once. And again, I was never a lotion person. Some people have extra dry skin where they need to lotion up, and I'm going to present this to some people with the black skin, because they always seem to have dry skin and always talking about lotioning and make sure you lotion up before you go to bed. So we'll get a feedback on that as well. So it's a beautiful soap, high lather, and releasing GAN's material to create balance on this planet, and not, of course, polluting the environment.
Very good, Mark. Yeah, it mentions for facial deep cleaning, whitening, repairing, and moisturizing. It also has a GAN's calming effect for all skin types. The white soap can be for hand washing, dish soap, and clothes soap. So those are some other applications that one could think of too, is dish soap and clothes soap.
I think it comes in does it come in a liquid as well as a bar at this point?
Not sure. Let's have a look at the new products. Maybe it's in there.
And of course, using these antibacterial soaps seems to increase the ability of things to resist.
Yes.
As it's released into the environment as well. So this is a very natural product. It's made up of fields, so to speak, and has no bad effect or deleterious effect on the environment. And I used to be in the laundering business, and there's very large laundries that go through hundreds of thousands of gallons of water per month, just in the washing process for hotels, motels, hospitals, nursing homes, commercial laundry, so to speak, where they have continuous batch processing or very large machines that could add this material to the environment, but also at the same time eliminate a lot of the pollutants. Now, maybe for sanitizing, you'd still need chlorine and so on, but there's very large laundry operations that could use it, and there's our liquid.
Yes.
So yes, I encourage anyone to take advantage of it. Price is high now, but as things get more into production, we'll experience the economies of scale of producing many million bars, and then of course the price will go probably down.
See the Plasma Care shampoo and shower gel is currently out of stock, unfortunately, but you see it there, and I think there's...
Well, factories are gearing up in Mexico and China, in Austria. I know Brazil will be coming online.
This one's out of stock as well right now. The patchouli shower gel and argan shampoo and sandalwood liquid hand soap. Unfortunately,
that's very nice, and we all regularly use soap, as Rick said, whether it's for dishwashing, clothes washing, showering. and so many other ways, just cleaning in general.
Yeah, a number of knowledge seekers have reported making their own soaps with the GANS materials. I think there's
we used
others.
to get some. It reminds me of a story, Rick. We used to get some from the church we used to go to. One of the ladies, Miss Keelman, I think her name was, she used to make soap in her oven. And my mother, she'd give my mother a tray every so often. It was called lard soap. I never really liked it, though. It sort of had an off smell to it. But,
yeah.
It's very easy. It's using an alkali and some fats, and at a certain temperature, you turn it into soap. It's the saponification process. So take advantage of it, give it as a gift, introduce somebody to the technology, and support the foundation to generate more and reduce pricing. And as I mentioned, in some of the other countries, the factories in Romania will be getting set up to handle a lower price structure for the incomes of that grouping, and so they can have advantage of this too. Very luxurious, and could bring peace in the house, help to bring peace in your household. And so many other things that we don't know the fields are doing, but they always work in the correct way. So that's my story on soap. So I would say no, all soaps are not created equally.
Okay, well, that's a good report, Mark. Thank you very much. Looks like lovely stuff to use. Okay, anybody else have any reports they would like to report at this point? Okay, well, maybe we'll have a look at some of the other products from the Keshe Foundation. I know there's Mr. Keshe has mentioned in the last meeting, the North American Corona team meeting, about new products that'll be brought out in the next few months. He plans on having lots of new products, apparently.
One of them was the vision glasses he had talked about, that's actually coming in the next few months for actually corrective, right? Again, I'm not sure now. It's for testing purposes only.
So glasses for correcting?
Yeah,
like I think that are different than this visual enhancement unit glasses?
I don't know, but he talked about systems for improving vision, the actual physicality, it sounded like, of the vision. And again, this is in the background, so I don't really know. I'd have to hear exactly what he said again, but he was hoping in the next few months that some systems will go out for vision correction or not just vision enhancement. But this system works a little differently in the test period. But again, I don't know what he's looking for, the type of feedback they're getting exactly. But he said it was online with what they've expected. So now it'll come out with some sort of vision improvement or balancing or whatever your problems are. It's just like the universal unit in a way, where it senses what's needed in the space gaps between, let's say, the emotions and the soul. And this is where the correction of the fields go on. I can get you the little insert that came with these. I did receive these, Rick, and I am testing them. But it made some very interesting statements that it's not to be shared, and that at this point, and that it interacts with the fields or interacts with the body, fields of the body, and the environment of one brain. And it's actually not doing anything to the vision, but it's increasing the neural link or something. You know, you don't always see with your eyes, you really see with your brain, don't you, Rick? Isn't that where the image is sort of manifested?
Yeah, well, the light gets transformed into sensory stimuli or whatever in the brain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if I can pull that up later, I will. It's in a different place than I'm sitting right now. But there's some very interesting wording in the insert in there. And again, the ones that I received were Oakley, so they were probably quite expensive ski goggles to begin with. And the GANS is embedded in the strap as well as in the lenses. And you're trying to create a balanced environment with these plasmas. And I just started wearing them 20 minutes a day at first, and now I'm using them for some hours. I haven't noticed anything exceptional, but the sleep is very deep, it seems, while wearing these. Even surprised, I think I wore it for 4 or 5 hours going to sleep, and it was still on. I woke up. And sometimes I move a lot when I sleep. Apparently, I'm one of those change positions persons.
Are they dark lenses or like sunglasses, or are they clear?
No, they just look like this. Mine are white with a white rim around them. No, they're not clear. You cannot see through them. The only light that comes through is the venting on the top and the bottom. I know Jacko, if he's here still, he's received a test pair as well. He may want to comment on it.
So you're saying you can't see through them?
No.
You can't see anything. It's like black.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So there's no seeing through, but there's also plasmas embedded into the strap. Now, I don't know if it's all around the strap or just in, it appears that it might be in the back there. And of course, we know the soul is located right in the center between the lenses and the back strap in the cranium area. So it does many things. I'll go to try to find that. Let me see if I can just bring that back in a minute or two. Jacko, would you like to share anything about your vision enhancement?
Yes, I can. Hello, Mark. Hello, Rick.
Great.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Jacko.
Hi,
Let's go
Jacko.
look for this, Rick.
It's my pleasure. I think we have the same. I also have a white Oakley glass, also with the straps in the back side. And I'm happy that it is completely black in the front, because I work shift times on not always the same time. So sometimes during the daytime, it is very good if you have to sleep that it is really dark. So I have really in the last 2 weeks, I sent my second report just yesterday, and I really had some interesting experiences. It started in the beginning. The first night, I had about 3 hours. I used them, and there were like sparklings coming towards me. It's difficult to explain. It was like a 3-dimensional experience. It was dark, of course, because you don't see anything, but it was really like sparkles came right in front of me. And then after that, I always have, it's not a tinnitus, but it is like an high frequency in my head when I wear them. So that tells me that something really is going on, is changing the environment inside of these ganses, which in fact you wear around your head. And but also one thing is that I have an apnea with the sleep, so I need a little breather that gives a little bit of pressure air, and it is sometimes a little bit difficult because they are on the nose at the same position. So either the one or the other is not really on the right position. So that makes it a little bit different to sleep, but it's no problem. I got used to it now after 2 weeks, so that is no problem. Then the third day, I wore the glasses 7 hours, and I wrote as a notice, chaos goes to order. And it was in the beginning like all was moving somehow in the vision side, and then it came to structure. It was like the what's the name where the bees make the six-side form, where they put the honey inside,
the honeycomb.
Yes, that came to this form, and after that it was more like squares, like playing the what's the name? Schach is German. It was like a bread with really good structures. So that was what I noticed on that day. And the fourth day, I wrote a little pressure. It was behind the eyes, but it was never really a problem. It was just a little feeling, a little pressure with the eyes. And I have to say, I always sleep very well. So that didn't change with the glasses too. The goggles. And then the sixth day, I slept 8 hours and I wrote dimension. That was where it started to feel like something in my head or in my awareness changed to another dimension. It was like with the normal eyes, it gives you like a completely different color. It was like looking through sunglasses during the day, during that I didn't wear the goggles. So for me, that was the point where I had the feeling I have to make a new tuning in to see it the same as it was before. And that took me 2 or 3 days. And after that, the looking through the normal eyes was back to normal again. And I also have a contact with lady called Stephanie in Germany, in Munich. She's in the German group, and we connected through Mario in the German teachings. So I exchange with her almost on a daily basis, because I think it is very important that we can tell the experiences. It doesn't mean that everyone has the same experiences, but in the end, it will bring the knowledge for the foundation that we find a way to use the products very well. And as Mr. Keshe told yesterday, it's on the right way. They expected these experiences, and it comes good if we can work with them. So on day 9, I wrote "dissolve the cage," and I had the feeling that this cage where Mr. Keshe was talking about to open up and let the bird out, for me it was like opening up. It's hard to describe, because it's a feeling like more freedom, although I was not flying. I could not say I want to go there, and I went there, but the feeling was like the cage was dissolving. Then on day 12, I wrote "little dizzy" when I woke up. On day 13, I wrote "inside." I had the feeling that a lot of things, like we're discussing in the groups, like we learned, if you go back, yesterday I had the night shift, so I had a lot of time to watch the internet. And at the teachings, Jalal was referring to the 288 knowledge seekers, and I watched that again, and it is exactly, I recommend it to everyone to watch this 288 again, because there Mr. Keshe is explaining, in fact, what he is explaining now in detail. And this connection, this way from the creator to us, and the way from us to the creator back, I connected this to this insight notice on the report. And yeah, of course, the honest and truth is written on day 15. I think we have to be in peace with ourselves, within ourselves, and without ourselves, or outside of ourselves. If that is in balance, this peace, then we come to the truth. And through this truth, I think, is the key to open up, to have the possibility to get to these other dimensions, or at least to get connected and in time to travel in these dimensions. Then day 16, I wrote balance. More and more, it feels like it is like the same before, like with the point of view I have, but still, the impact of the change from the glasses, I think, is big. And I also have to say that I have an oil beside my bed, and it is called Soma, Equilibrium, and I use it to put it on points on my head, on my skin, where the hair grows. And I tried with and without, and it has a very big difference to put this oil on my head and wear the glasses. The experience is extremely much deeper than it is without. So Mr. Keshe once told in the teachings about this Soma, S-O-M-A, and for me, this really makes a difference. Although it's hard to explain what the difference really is, but it is much more intense what I experienced myself. And the last day, I wrote a wonderful sleep. So yeah, that is what I can tell about my goggles and my experiences about it in the last 14 days.
Very nice. If I could read something here that came with the goggles, the purpose, and this is down in the text a little bit, the purpose of this product is to create a test study for the better understanding of this technology and its applications. Now, here's some very interesting wording going up to the top. The visual enhancement unit is made specifically to create a balance in the eyes. It does not change anything in the eye structure. The way it works is through the neural system of the vision to become balanced with the actual vision of the man. They are specifically made to create a balance of fields within the environment outside the body of the man to create peaceful vision. The results will differ from person to person, but these are outside parameter interaction fields of the plasma, and they are designed specifically for plasmatic lives. One can create a balance between all the plasmas placed on the strap and in the lenses. It enhances the beauty, the vision, even the thoughts. It brings different vision of understanding and different vision of seeing things in the real dimension. It brings a peaceful sleep and vision clearance. And again, here's another part of this. The vision enhancement unit is for personal use and must not be shared with other persons because the fields adapt to the body of the man and the environment of one brain. But in the future, yes, there we go. And that looks like exactly what I have. And apparently Jacko has it too. So yes, it's a test study. So you're going voluntarily into a test study. And
Exactly.
when these newer systems will be released in a few months, they're actually for repairing in some way of the, I think, of the physicality of the vision that needs to be repaired, but I'm not sure.
My feeling says that we will learn that our physicality is nothing than a manifestation from the fields. And the more time goes by, this also explains why it has these changes in our lives. So in fact, it is the key to what we want to reach, and I'm very sure this will bring really big differences in time. I can also say with the butterflies, I got them, put the big one on the window outside where the mobile phone antenna is about 200 meters away from my apartment. It's on the same height as I am. So I think this is a really good strategic point for observing fields that I don't want or I don't need while I'm in my apartment. The smaller one is on the wireless router, and the very small one is on the phone. And what I noticed, my phone is about 3 years old, and normally I wear it on the left side in my left pocket. Because I'm in the firefighters, it normally runs 24 hours a day, and then you carry it with you too. And I noticed that when I had it in my pocket, my muscles start to heat up if I wear it for a longer time. And since the butterfly is on the backside, there's no heating anymore. It's really completely normal. I noticed nothing. And I always was thinking about the radiation that cannot be good for your body. These telephones are connecting up to 11 kilometers away, and this radiation is really very, very strong. But, in summertime, you don't have a jacket. Whether you wear it in your pocket. And I think for the body, it is much, much better to protect with the butterfly, for example.
And of course, this is only one part of a 3-part system, which the second part would be the first would be the butterfly, and then the air enhancement as an overall elevation. And of course, with these butterflies, which most people look at as just sort of capturing the bad or damaging problem fields,
it's not.
It's a soul elevator. More. Yes, Mr. Yes. Keshe said it's an elevator of the soul of the man.
Yes.
So
I also feel like it will be like a network connecting directly to the fields, and the fields have no limitation. So this communication network where he's talking about on the field strength, plasma strength, I'm very sure this will have a key position with it. And it would also explain why he told the cheapest one is one of the most worthful if we start to understand what it really means. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we had another story I heard from someone who bought some of these, and the granddaughter was having some sort of issues at school, which most children do, teenager type. And they put the butterfly under the pillow. And now the daughter is very enthralled with it. She's starting to do her homework right on time. She feels more confident with herself. And overall, it's just a better environment, the person reported, just by having one of those under the pillow.
Yes. It's for me a little bit difficult because I slept before a wonderful, I never dreamed, I never had an unconscious sleep, but it was always a few seconds and I'm gone. I'm in a deep sleep, and in the morning I'm fresh when I get up. So it's difficult to notice a change. If it's perfect, how can it be better, This picture I sent it you now, I don't know if you see it, is this Soma oil. It's 2 colors. You can mix it by shaking, and then it is written that it should be positioned on the roots of the hair, on the skin where the hairs grow. And this also gives a very, very stronger impact with the goggles when I use it. And I really tried days with and without, and makes a big, big difference. When I was searching for it, because some people say, it has to be different, and it has to be the mushrooms itself, and not only part of that, for example, like in this oil. But I tried to do it intuitive. There were 20 million results on Google when I Googled it. So it was a little bit difficult. So I looked what is available in Switzerland that I don't have to do it abroad. And this one was catching my eye. And I think we should go more and more in this direction to listen, because our soul knows the answer to any question. So yeah, if we do it step by step, and then we catch the right way. For me, it was perfect. and you use really only a little bit. I put it on the finger on the roots of the hair, and it's a great experience.
And what Jacko was referring to, it says these wear the vision enhancement unit up to 5 hours a day. It can be used in multiple sessions a day, or one can place them on when going to sleep at night and remove them in the morning. During or after the wearing of these visual enhancement units, slight headaches might appear. It is normal and they do not last for long. In case of severe headaches, migraines, or other severe discomfort, stop the usage of this product, which is a normal thing. I think I noticed the slight pressure a couple times, but it just sort of disappeared.
Yes, in my case, with 8-9 hours sleep, with it, I notice it very well. But it is not really no problem. It is not a hurting. It's just a feeling which occurs. So absolutely no problem. And I have another thing which I also want to testimonial. I have a Magraf in my car. My car is now 2.5 years old. I started with, he has a tank of 45 liters. And I started with 550, 600 kilometers. Now I looked yesterday on it. I'm at 690 kilometers, and it still has 30% in the tank. And for me, it is very clear, more and more we do profit from the technology. I also made an automatic payment for a donation to the foundation, because I think it is important to give a little bit back of that, which we got now step by step. And I think it is very important to share, make it possible for the other ones too, so that anyone in the end can make a profit for everything, for humanity, and far beyond.
What was sorry, go ahead.
Today I saw on the news here in Switzerland, they brought about the climate change, and there was a specialist talk, and he says, yeah, it is irreversible, it is impossible, we can only reduce. And I was thinking, hey guy, you should look at the Keshe Foundation. There you see that it is reversible, even stronger than you ever can imagine. And it would be so good to get those people also in the boat and bring them to the knowledge that it is possible to not only reduce the CO2 but also capture it and use it for a better purpose. And so many things, so many fears that are in the heads of the people would change and would release when they knew the truth, what is to come. And I have to say, I can hardly wait, because you see it is there, you see it works, and when comes the point when some of the mainstream media catches it, and then the ball starts running, you know. I'm very sure this will happen in a very near time, because a little example, my boys came here, we made a barbecue, we had a nice evening, and as always, I'm talking about the technologies. The older son also made cups, and the younger one is a little bit more skeptical. And I thought about the flying cars, and he says, "Bring it on the TV that the car flies, and then the problem is solved, and everyone believes it." And the people need it. They need a proof that it functions. And I'm very, very sure as soon as this ignites, then we will have a lot of work to explain to the people. And it's a question of time. It will come, because it's there. It's
That's for sure. There'll be lots of questions if we can provide a hovering craft or anything that hovers. A hoverboard would be an instant. It would that information would go around the world so fast, probably even faster than a flying car.
Yeah, it is. The manifestation is almost instantly. So in fact, we don't need this car anymore. I'm really thinking about changing my life. I have a good job. It's great. I'm there for 30 years now working, and I also can do a lot till now for other people's. We produce a really clear electric power. So we provided for about 150,000 households in Switzerland, but somehow it comes to an end, because you cannot discuss things we discuss with each other with those people, because they really don't understand. And if you start talking about it, you have very big eyes, and they think he's Mark from Org. He's completely out of his mind. And I think with the testimonials, with the practical side, if we can show step by step what is the truth, the real truth, then we can catch up and get the people thinking and acting the right way.
Yes, indeed.
Well put, Jaco. And this bottle is quite exotic looking.
It is, isn't it? It's very mesmerizing almost. It's just this combination of colors and textures that are
also, the smell is very special. It is a very nice, natural smell. My wife told she does not believe or works with it, but she noticed the differences, for example, with the waters too. We also were a weekend with friends. They were tested negative on the weekend, but 2 days later they were positive tested. And we had to go to quarantine because of that, although I told them I don't have it. Yeah, you have to go for 11 days. And after 5-6 days you can test, and then you can get back to work. And I told them I don't have it. Yeah, but you have to. So we were the weekend with them together, spent the weekend together, and even my wife, she was very astonished that we didn't get it. But I told her, listen, if we spray us with the GAN's water, it is almost impossible if you don't get a direct contact. And it was. We had negative tests. After the 5 days, I tested again. And they say, you still have to be in quarantine. So I left in quarantine for 11 days. But it is a wonderful thing that we have these protection possibilities. It's the same with the water. I have the ceramics, which I drink, which really had a good progress. I started to combine now with CH3 water in the morning and the afternoon. And
is that the cup of pressure?
I have the pressure, the sweet, and the life. I have them all three, and I use them in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And now there's also a protocol because of the diabetes, And this protocol is 40 to 60 milliliters in the morning and in the evening for the first week. And I really had to stop with my medicaments because I noticed that it reduces too much. I had problems in the stability, and I stopped now because next week I have a date with my doctor, so he will check all the values exactly. I have checked myself here in the house, and the values are stable without the chemicals. So for me, this is the point where I really worked on since the last 2 years. Of course, I had to wait till the ceramics came, and then with the protocol, with the Gansers, everything is there now, and I see that it works. It works really, and this should be a big hope for all the people who have this diabetes. With me, it started with my feet. Is normal, they say. That's also when they test, they look the reaction of the feet, and it was really terrible because it was like not like stone, but there was no circulation in the feet, and the feeling was going away. It was not completely gone, but it was not good. And since I drink this CH3 GANS water extra, this is completely going back to normal again. And it was what Mr. Keshe told, but now I experience it at my own body. I see one-on-one that it functions. So it's really great to make this experience. I'm really very thankful.
Could you show the cups, Rick? that Jacko's referring to? And again,
Yeah, sure.
there's hundreds of millions of people walking around on this planet with unknown that they have a diabetic condition, and there's many more. I know our state here, it's the #1 reason for amputations or loss of limb.
Yes, because that's the next stage. If you wait and you don't do anything, then it comes this far that there's no circulation anymore in the feet, and then they have to amputate. And that's not good.
So the sweet is for the sugar and the pressure is for the
Blood pressure.
blood pressure. And then there's is there a third cup, you said?
Yes, the light green one is called Life. I'm not sure, but I think has to do with food consumption reduction or the total wellness of the body.
And aren't one of these cups rated for the plants where you don't have to water them as often?
Yes, but that is separate. It's a separate cup to order. Yes.
Right. So if someone wouldn't want to try one of these, perhaps they'd want to try with their plant. Exactly. And see how the plant interacts with the fields before they actually put their toe in the water, so to speak.
Exactly. And I also gave my boys such a ceramic called Life, just to try and to practice to use it. It's up to them if they want or not. But as you told, on one hand, it is good to support the foundation and all the work, and on the other hand, we give something to the people. If they need it, it's good when it's there. And I think it is, to a lot of people, it needs certain situation where you come to the point where you notice that you need it. Else, if everything is okay, for what should I do it? I don't need it. It's probably the way a lot of people think. But latest, when it's really necessary, you start thinking different. Want me to show my cups? I think I have a picture somewhere.
And you're working with a doctor, so he will have it'll make a big impression on him as well.
Well, I'm really curious about his eyes, because he knows also that I'm doing with the foundation. I gave it to him, the address, and asked him to look inside. We talked about it a few minutes, but the next time I came, I noticed, for him it was nothing. He doesn't see that it's for anything, so for him it was nothing. And now if I can show the numbers, and last time it was also I reduced my medicaments because I noticed that it is too much in my body. And he was, now we're on the right way. And I told him, yes, without this and this medicine. And he looked at me, no, it's not possible. I told him, yes, it is. I reduced the medicine on my own because I noticed my body didn't like it anymore. So and now when I can say, listen, for 1 week I didn't take any medicine anymore. These values are my blood pressure is 124. I measured this afternoon. Before it was 180. So it's completely different league I'm playing now. And it is because of this, because I didn't change anything in my life with the food, with the sports or the working or so. It was all the same. So it is comparable why it's different now. And you see these 3 cups, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. If I go to work and have shift work, then I take it with me. I put it in a glass bottle and take it with me, and then I drink it at work.
And you let the water sit in these cups how long?
I change them as soon as I drink from it, or I wash with it 2 times a day, in the morning and the evening. I also use it for washing, and then I change it. I put the rest from the cup from the cup to the environment, and take fresh cold water Here in Switzerland, in the mountains, we really have good water quality without any chemicals or changes. So I put it in so that it stays, and then latest in 24 hours, I refresh it.
And these are for single persons to use as well. They're not to be shared.
Yes, exactly. I bought for my wife separate, and since 2 weeks, she's now also drinking from it. I planned it from the beginning because I knew that it is personal and you should not mix it, because there becomes a relationship. I come back to the point of manifestation. If we are a manifestation, we link in to these products, and it's not a one way. It's not the change of our body. So with it, the cup get used to us, and we get more and more used to the cup, and this gives the balance which is necessary to reach the conditions of no health issues anymore. What I also do is when I take a bath, I normally use the cup 1, cup 2 waters. I take the amino acids also from the 5-stacker cup. I take the amino acids and the water from these ceramics, and I put it in the bath, because in the beginning of 2020 or March 2020, Mr. Keshe told to put in, if you take the bath to wash yourself, take what you have. And then since then I do that, and it gives a very sparkling feeling in the water. I like to be there for an hour or two, and then it's really, really nice. I love it. I always see forward to that, getting in the tube. So yeah, that's what I can tell. But from the air enhancement unit, I have a vaporizer which I use for since the beginning, since the first cup 1 and 2 are made. I always put a lot of cup 1 water inside with maybe 20% of the cup 2, and vaporize it in the apartment. And in the beginning, it was like really foggy in the apartment. And now I opened the windows, the doors, so it can also go outside and help to support the environment. Besides the spraying, which I normally, when I sleep, when the spraying is on the times, I do it before or later, and sometimes also the days in between, because I feel that we can give something back to nature to support, and this dome of peace is really a marvelous thing if we start to understand what it will bring in the end, because this is the key to reach everyone who is living in this environment, who is connected to the amino acids of the planet. And it's a great thing we're doing. And I really thank you all. It's, normally I'm not the one who likes to interfere or to jump in talks or so. I'm more the listener. I'm more the one who gets in the background. I try to send you all the love that I can give, because I know the wonderful work every single one is doing. And this is the key to our future as mankind. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jacko. That was an excellent testimonial, I would say, and ongoing as well.
Definitely.
Agree, 100%. Thank you, Jacko. And maybe the doctor can't see because he can't see losing a client.
Yeah, but I told him from the beginning, you have to imagine that will be the truth. And my idea is I don't have the money to organize an enhancement unit here in Switzerland, but we have a park here called Mystery Park. It was made for aliens. Von Däniken, Eric von Däniken is a very famous book writer with...
oh, yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
Yes, Eric, yes.
Yes, and he has a park here only 20 minutes driving from here in Interlaken. And this park, it is used now for a kindergarten, because he went broke with the money. There was not enough people coming again. It was very interesting to see it the first time, second time, but then you did see it. You know what? He let open the questions, and for me. Since 1.5 years, I have the feeling like you have, Rick, with your project. This is my project. There's a big ball, maybe 30 meters in the air, which was the library and his office. It would be perfect to put the enhancement units in. They are from the floor. They are open space. Around this are 6 pavilions, which we could use for the production, showing the production of the ganses, the products, and these questions that he left open with this park, we could answer in the way that we say, people come and experience yourself. With the connection of the other places with the units, and somehow I feel that this should be realized or made for the Keshe Foundation. It would be perfect to have the flags of the foundation on top of the roof, and you can be sure sometimes I play the lotto, and I would definitely open up the Keshe Spaceship Institute in Interlaken with that.
That's a nice vision.
Yes. I can show, look, maybe I have a picture of this too. Then I can show.
Oh, that'd be good. See, Roseanne had a comment in the chat in regards to the glasses, the Keshe glasses. I wonder if this is different from recommendations for eyes on the Keshe Wikipedia. And I believe that's a totally different thing. Different use and intention.
Yes, one of the requirements for humanity is that they investigate and understand this knowledge for themselves. So there's a lot of talk about a lot of different things, but really you need to go to Mr. Keshe and his words and certified things from the foundation, because there are a few copycats out there.
Can you see it?
Oh, let me...
Yes, I see it. This was Eric von Daniken.
Yes, with all his different items, with the Mayas, with the Egyptians, with he showed his connection to the gods, to the extraterrestrials, but he left open every question about how it is. Do they come back? What is the connection? And now with our universal connection we will have very soon, these questions will all be answered. And if we can put in this middle point, the connection to travel, to have this connection, I think for Switzerland it would be a perfect place. Also to help the people in...
It's interesting that it appears to have 8 main arms coming off, let's say, from the circle, which is exactly the same number, at least, as our new cups of the universe. And I wonder if these geometric shapes and so on are related somehow, or you could definitely make them related. Each of these pavilions could be a different, focusing on a different GANs material or nano-material.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
So this is my project.
Yeah, it seems quite appropriate to be having space knowledge and space usage in this facility.
It would be perfect.
That was it's built for. So
yes.
So,
and it's waiting for its purpose.
Yes, I see it too.
Where's the landing pad?
There's a big parking on the left side. Even it is built on an airport. There's a former military airport which is not used anymore. No problem.
Perfect.
Yes. A lot of parking in front. The front is the entrance building. There's also a restaurant inside which is not in use anymore, and you can park there a few hundred cars. So even those who are still in physicality, it would be no problem.
Is the whole facility shut down now, or some of it stays open?
Erich comes once a week, which he tells his story and goes around with the people, but it's not open. Everything in the entrance. There's a kindergarten where they look for the children during the day, but the other things are not working anymore, as far as I know. And you see, it's not called Mystery Park anymore. It's called Jungfrau Park now. 3 parties bought it from when he went bankrupt, and one of them is my neighbor. So somehow it's close.
Yeah.
The only thing is missing is the number on the bank account.
I wonder what it would take to get that all, to make that dream come true. How many? And we're definitely in millions. That's just a matter of, is it tens or hundreds of millions?
Well, no, it's not. The originally price was 22 million. They built it for 22. Then they sold it when it was bankrupt for 14, and that is maybe 10 years ago now. So I guess with 6-7 million it should be possible, because there's a lot of work to do on maintenance and then replacing, and the time will be good to make a good investment for a good price if there's enough money. And just imagine when it really runs, and when the people really start to have this interest to get the knowledge, if we even have the possibility to make the transportation from one to the other enhancement unit, people will wait and want to go there all together. It was in the beginning when they made this new tool, because everyone knows Erich von Däniken did read the books, and there were hundreds and thousands of people coming, but this was only a few years. Then everyone saw it and said, okay, now we know, so we don't have to come back again. I always say he missed the repeating situation with the children. If in a park, when children want to go there again, the parents come too, and that was not in this case. He extra didn't want this, but in the end it was the reason why there was no success. And who knows, maybe the success is still ahead. just to come. I will be part of it, definitely, if possible. Although I also have to say it would be great to sell everything, to buy a mobile home and travel to Linz and start working for the foundation, because when I was there in September last year, this talking with Klaus, it was really, really nice. You feel the dynamic that is there, the things he told. I have to say, the problem is when I leave Switzerland, I'm a foreigner here. I just am allowed to live here because I was married with a Swiss lady. And when I go, I have to take my papers with me, and I cannot return anymore. So my children are still here, and that is the reason why I have, it's not easy to just say leave everything behind and go. But in fact, in my heart, it is. I would love to do that. Or to combine, for example, with this park and the work in Linz. Because in the end, it will be in every country connected, even if every city has the connection. Just imagine, there's a lot of work to do.
Well, if we as humans become a little more mobile than we are now, with more efficient and vertical takeoff type aircraft and so on and so forth, you could see this as a world destination point where people come to learn and teach and interact with others. And one of these elements could be for health treatment, and another one for transportation, showing the latest in transportation, the latest in materials creation, and so on and so forth. There's lots of potential.
As soon as the books are opened to these sites, you're exactly right. Then it starts, and then people want to know more. They want to see and to experience, to do themselves, and it's hard to wait for this point. And I see it as a bright future. For me, it is very clear that we go in this direction, and it's a question of time. It's not a question if, but it's only a question of time.
So you could imagine like dozens of sites like this around the world that are the new sacred sites, in a way, that will be where the plasma technology is manifest and taught and learned.
Yes.
And each one of these could be, what do you call it, individual and unique in their own ways. But like, they all should be, I think, visible from space, essentially. So a structure like this it stands out in space. You could see just from the picture and the way the light reflects on it and so on. It's probably designed to stand out in space. It's a brilliant design. It's got something special about it, like the pyramids. Definitely. And like all the other sacred sites that have been built, both in the past and modern ones that are spectacular in the way they look. Because part of when you can imagine yourself pulling up in one of these buses, for example, and just feeling the majesty of the whole place, the good vibes, and if it's all decked out with the GANs materials and the nano and all of the plasma technology, the whole site's just it'll have that vibe. People, as soon as they get there, they will feel it, and that'll be what will start to get around by word of mouth. Is you can go to these sites and actually feel the vibes there, and that it's something really good happening, and so on and so forth.
It's not from the books, it's the experience.
Before they even walk through the door, they're already being affected by their experience, and I think that would be important. And then you can see spiritual tourism to all these different spots, and you'd be taken there by the latest in plasma transportation technology, and that would be part of the experience in itself. Like maybe the first units that would fly between these worldwide centers, from center to center, to deliver people for treatments or for government officials and that kind of thing, for a special journey and a special experience in these sites.
Exactly. Yes. And here, this area, the Bernese Oberland, has so many really wonderful hotspots to see, like the Jungfrau top of Europe, or the mountains around, the glaciers, and so on. And if we have this transportation, we also have the possibility to show the beauty of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the enhancement units work, for me, I'm not concentrating or thinking more on spaceships, because why should we build a spaceship if our soul is capable to do it itself? Why should we wear a lot of luggage with us if everything is there? And
well,
this 200.
To me, it's this one word sums it all up. It would be fun. I mean, why are we on this planet when we could be a soul and just not having to experience all the pain and suffering of being on this planet and so on? But we're here because there's some people say we're here. I'm here for the beer. Well, in a way, but, you know, even Mr. Keshe says he's here to experience the love and to experience all the things that you can experience as a human, to get that human experience.
Yes, but if we see our physicality as a manifestation, what is the difference? You travel with your soul, you manifest. You enjoy, you travel with your soul, you manifest. It's only a different form of transportation. But as soon as you manifest, it is the same as you experience now with your body. So you can have all these experiences you want to attract into your life. It doesn't exclude that you can travel by soul.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't. I wouldn't exclude one or the other. I like the idea of, while I'm in the physicality, being able to experience traveling in space, or at least traveling on this planet, without having to do it in an airplane with a confined space at low speeds that the air is really bad and makes me sick, and I just can't do it. I can't travel.
Rick, this has to do with our age.
No, I've been that way since day one because I'm allergic to the fumes, and I just, because been a mechanic most of my life, I'm just allergic to all the. Doesn't matter if it's vehicles, like cars and trucks, trains, and especially airplanes. The jet fuel just does not agree with me. It's too close to diesel for my liking. So, it'd be nice to be able to travel both on the roads, in the air, just travel with in fresh air, in a fresh air environment. This is a part of what the whole thing's about to me. So, but also going to space. I'd love to be able to go to Mars for a day and just, cruise around and check it out for myself. And go to Saturn, go to all the planets, and maybe beyond the solar system. I'd love to visit the star system. Every time I look up at the sky, I see the same star system, and it draws me, and I think, I came from there, or I am somehow identified with that, and I'd like to visit. That would be great. And I'd like to be able to take the physicality if it could handle it, and if it wasn't a 50-year trip and you had to be in suspended animation or something. It's there's lots of places in space that I wouldn't necessarily want to go to or be stuck in. It's the voidness of the void, and you might not like to just be with yourself for eternity out in space. But there are what you can call it, bus stations or drop-off points where, like the Earth and other material places that have manifest, that would be fun to visit, to see, to experience a place that has three suns instead of one, or has purple atmosphere instead of a blue one, or just, and the beings were like us, but quite a bit different in some ways, and just to experience those different ways of existing. So I think that would be fun.
Yeah, as I understand the technology, in my understanding, it is exactly where we're heading for. and then you can either take your RV with you, or you go directly and you manifestate in the planet where you are to the conditions where you are. I think, as I understand, it is no problem. It is the way it will be.
Yeah, and the master, of course, can take the choice of either or. It doesn't really even matter so much in a way, as in the sense that we get all bent out of shape and trying to do this and that and global warming and all the things we do to try to fix the problems and so on. But hey,
So
if you're working on the soul level and you have mastered that, and you become the, as Mr. Keshe says, the plasma, not just the worker in plasma, but the plasma manipulator, the beyond the nano and the GANs and plasma into the plasma manipulator, and yes, the creator. You become and manifest the creator, and in that case, you have full control, or not full control, but you have the ability no limits, and the ability to work between different dimensions. And you can lower yourself to the lower dimensions when required, or if necessary, or if you wish to. And maybe there's someone in those lower dimensions that needs some help, and we have to, drop in and give some words of wisdom, and then go back to our native home and our soul level that we prefer to hang out in, say. But to have that ability to go up and down the totem pole, as it's said, or to manifest all of the animals on the totem pole, the ones that are on the ground and in the air and in the soul level.
I think it's just a release of the cage. If we dissolve the cage, then everything is there. All the soul, Mr. Keshe told once, the soul has all the levels to the connections, dimensions, whatever. So in fact, it is already there. We are the one who restrict ourselves to be free to do it.
Well,
so
that's right.
Us to open up.
But we restrict it because, like the problem with time, if we existed in the moment and we had all events and all time happening simultaneously and for eternity, it would be totally overwhelming to us. And we have time, so we can have one event at a time, and we can handle that, and that's what we call our physicality world. And it's something that we've gotten sort of used to, and we like it that way, so it's not so overwhelming. And
that's
otherwise,
why Jalal is not allowed to go yet.
Yes, right. There's still
and
things
it's
to do.
Exactly the same.
And if you have anything you need to do on this planet, then that's what keeps you here, basically. And
but also brings you closer to the point where you can.
Yeah. Exactly.
And in this relation, I always say you have to see time in the relation to eternity, and not in the relation to a lifetime, because a lifetime is a snip of the eye, is nothing if you put it in the context to eternity. And that is the way of the soul, and the other one is the way of the physicality. And this is exactly where we have to choose the way. Which way do we want to go? And I'm very sure. I was also thinking about what is the difference between dying or traveling. The only thing is that when you die, you stay there in the condition. You cannot come back. The condition is the same. But with the traveling, we open up the keys, the doors to travel and to come back, to have the freedom to choose to be where you are. So you're conscious in this moment where you are. And for me, that is the reason why it makes no sense to fly around with a UFO if you can have everything inside of your soul in complete freedom. But it's my point of view.
Yes, absolutely. It's just been my lifelong dream to experience that. So I figure I want to do that before I drop off the physicality. It's one of the rides I want to experience on the Disneyland of Earth before we take off forever.
Yes, but remember, no limits. What means no limits? That means
well,
that you
absolutely.
can have your ride exactly.
I want my cake and eat it too. I want to go on rides, and when I'm tired of the rides, then we go for full soul travel and don't even bother with the rides.
May I tell you a story? 2015-16, when I started to connect to the foundation, Mr. Keshe was talking about the flying and the flying cars and the flying itself. And I had a dream then. And then, as I told, normally I don't dream, but some points in my life where changes are there or where it's important, I have sometimes a dream. And that night I dreamt that I could take the mattress from my bed and I could fold it together. So I was half inside, like a half pipe, and with this right and left side I could fly. And it felt like a perfect fly. I flew all over the mountains and the lakes, and it was really, really a cool experience. And then when I woke up, I thought, yeah, this would be a good goal to look forward to and to try to reach. So if there's really no limits, then you can do exactly like you want, and I think that is the beauty where Mr. Keshe is talking about.
Absolutely.
And as this technology comes in, it's going to benefit all of us. He's talking about more leisure time activities. So maybe I'm going to become a travel agent or something in the travel industry, because you could go here, you could go to Niagara Falls, you could go to Machu Picchu, all in the same day. And then start to experience which sites or which positions, Angel Falls. I'd love to do some paleontology work and dig up some bones or dinosaur bones in different places. So we'll be traveling and moving all over the planet once the current propulsion systems are replaced, which is pretty quick on the agenda. Of course, quick to us and quick to Mr. Keshe, it could be two different things.
Good point.
A glass of wine at the Grand Canyon in the sundowner is exactly what I see. Yeah.
Yes, they say the north tier of the Grand Canyon is off limits because there's so many Egyptian artifacts in there that you're not even allowed to go in there.
So if we start finding all these things and Earth becomes even more interesting than it is now, is that going to deter us from doing these soul travel? In other words, if we have this new instant travel thing and we can go to, have breakfast in one continent and lunch in another one and dinner in yet another
planet.
Right.
Are we going to love the Earth more, love Mars more, and love to go to that McDonald's on Mars? I just love it all so much. Are we going to be able to leave it and actually go to space?
Tell me later when you did it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the estimates are half of this population will not be here by 2050, as they will have departed into space. And I know at one point Mr. Keshe brought up that the governments may have to even make laws to prevent people from leaving, because this planet, it will be somewhat depopulated.
On the other hand, I see it also in the context of manifesting new souls. So I think we are full completely in the physicality, and that's what gives us the limitations to see one step ahead. But as soon as we are really combining with the universal population, there will be completely different situation, and that needs the regulations. That is clear, and that's also why it's so important to have the Universal Council to be ready to prepare these things. Because if you're not prepared, you see what goes around now with the government, at least here in Europe, it is absolutely crazy what they plan to do with people who don't like to be vaccinated, although we see what is the consequence if you do, and some things that don't work at all, but still politicians have ideas that you can only be astonished. And these things have to be prepared, and it's very, very important that we work on it and that we continue with it, because it will be faster here than a lot of us can imagine as the steps go by.
Yeah, it's interesting times we live in, that's for sure. We have opposite ends of the stick happening at different parts of the world. In Alberta, for example, they've just basically stopped all the regulations and all the rules, and have no longer have the health authorities putting the pressure on about all that stuff. And of course, everyone's up in arms about that because they want the pressure on. they want pressure, more pressure for the masking and for identifying the cases and tracking people and all of that. But the health officer for the Alberta province in Canada is just saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to normalize the coronavirus and make it, it is basically like a flu, and we're going to treat it as a flu condition, and we're going to put our focus on all the other symptoms and problems that we took our focus off of when we started this whole COVID thing. So essentially, the health officer has rebelled and is going against some of the advice. And some say it was because of a lawsuit that they were taken to court and supposed to be witness for why all these regulations were installed in the first place, which is, do they have an actual virus? Is there a virus? And this came up in court. Where has it been isolated? Where is the official virus isolation been done? And apparently it hasn't been done in Canada. They don't have any official isolation of the virus, which is what you need in order to create an actual official vaccine. And so the governments are kind of getting into a bind with these legalities that are coming back to bite them. And there could be lots of lawsuits, and some of them are realizing we need to get out of this before we get caught in some lawsuits, and we have to get some common sense and common health procedures that make sense installed. So it's quite refreshing, actually. I was quite amazed and refreshed by reading about that recently.
Viva Alberta.
More.
I think some people still have their head on their shoulders, literally there. So up with Alberta. We support you. At least I do.
Yeah, I just wish they weren't quite so much into the oil and the gas stuff, but that too will pass. Sooner than they think, I think.
Gas always passes, Rick.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know about oil.
That'd be a good t-shirt. Oil and gas. This too will pass.
just before I did read an article from Holland where a lawyer who is a specialist in law for workers, she wrote that the companies are not aware that if they force people to vaccinate, they also have to stand straight for the consequences that are upon it.
That's right. Liability. That's right.
Yeah, but they don't think about it. They just think, yeah, now we can. But on the other hand, if you see that it is not working for, I don't know, 40% or what, they still can get it, they still can give it, so it is not working at all. If we do it with other medicines, then, for example, with the birth control, we would have a lot of babies if they had the same quote. And I also did read that the police in Switzerland gave an open letter to the politicians that they say it is not possible to do what you want, and some are really thinking about refusing to do the consequences of all these laws they are trying to make. The numbers that are here now are ridiculous. There's maybe one person dying on 8 million. And in Switzerland, I did some research because my colleague from Holland is also a lawyer, and he says the numbers are not right, which they're telling. In Switzerland, between 1,500 and 2,000 people are dying a week. And that is a normal number. That is dying from something, whatever. So if we're talking about one person, more or less, and they put it on COVID, although it's not even proven, then you really have to ask what is going on. And this awakening of the people, I think it comes more and more, and this gives me confidence that it comes good, that at least the people start thinking rational and not like fantasy or. It's important to be in a common sense.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and of course we have to do what we can to protect. And but on the other hand, I was thinking we have to have a badge which is written Keshe Plasma Protected. Then we can use it as a certificate to go to the movies and the restaurants, and that would be really cool. That you can show you're protected. You will never give this to someone else as long as it's not able to get to you yourself. And if people start to realize that it's possible without injection, why not?
Maybe we all have to wear the Keshe spacesuits, and they'll recognize us then. We're protected. We have the Keshe spacesuit. It's not such a bad idea. If we had a cool helmet to wear, it'd be really neat to run around the streets with a spacesuit on.
Or an app which you can show that they can scan and you're registered, protected by Keshe Plasma technology.
He mentioned a development of a mask or a series of masks that would be quite protective. So there's some new things. I don't think that's in the store yet.
No, but it comes.
It comes.
$1 mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's GANS masks, but not the kind you're talking about that have some sort of filter or whatever to protect.
If you have GANS inside, then it's not possible for the virus to get into your mouth and into your body. So there is no infection. And this is different to the masks there are now. They only filter a little bit, but it stays on the outside. So the longer you wear the mask, the more it is possible that the infection is outside. People take it with their hands. I'm a little bit educated how you do this from the firefighters. You should not touch this mask at all. If you really, go for the situation that there's an infection outside, because if it's filtering, it's still there. So you have to take it from the side and never touch it with your hands. But a lot of people, they don't care at all, and then it makes absolutely no sense, because this hand which they take away the mask, the next time they eat the bread and put it inside their mouth. So
and then they're
this mask
handling vegetables and fruits and so on in the supermarket after touching their mask, which is laden with bacteria and so on.
Yes.
So,
if this one really decontaminates, then it makes a big difference for all, especially for the healthcare people.
And I know there's going to be a lot of products developed in the future. Jaco, you said you're a firefighter. Wondering if you've ever worked with any of that CO2 GANs. We have tremendous wildfires here in the United States. I would love to see them have a natural sort of solution to that. That would be quite, and it'd probably save firefighters' lives as well, if there was a way to develop something that would put out the fire but wouldn't take all the oxygen out of the environment at the same time. So anything that had survived there can still survive.
It is, and I was thinking about it. I also talked to some instructors on that level, because nearby is one of the firefighter instructors who is also doing his GANs materials, and it's very nice to talk to him. We talk about 3 times a year, but the problem is I didn't check it. I did not do tests or like that. I don't have a firehouse myself. And we are in the lucky case that we have maybe 10 times a year that there happens something, but it's not always the fire, you know. It's more accidents on the road or things like that, or assistance or so. So I'm happy that it is, because a fire in a house with people inside, I can tell you, it is not nice. It is difficult for all, especially for the ones who are in front, because everyone comes in. You have to go there. You have to get them out. Yes, but I also have to protect my people. I cannot just send someone in and say, okay, it doesn't matter if he doesn't come out again, because he also has a family. And these are the things. It's not easy. But I agree with you, and I also spoke to this inspector because of that. He is more teaching in such houses where it is possible to test. And as Mr. Keshe referred to, there is a connection that it is more efficient with a CO2 in the water. And I was thinking it would be no problem to put it in the big tank. We have a truck with 3,000 liter water. If you can put it there, that it is not circulating out, so that the GAN stays in the water and it can inform all the time if you fill it up. That should be no problem. That should be really no problem.
Well, that would
I have to admit we didn't test.
That would be a really good experiment, I think. That would be a great test to do.
Yeah, I was thinking of soaking a log in CO2 and then having one of these little fires in your outdoor fire pit, let's say, and then throwing the log on there. But Mr. Keshe said that we could go to the moon tomorrow. They have the technology within the foundation to do it. So I'm sure this is another area that will be developed, and they have the knowledge right now. It just hasn't been released.
Exactly, because if I was thinking, if you have a case where something is burning, you change the environment, a little bit less oxygen, a little bit more stickstoff oxide, then the fire distinguishes itself. You don't need a water with CO2 to distinguish. It would only be the phase between this position now and the position, the knowledge later. Because later, I think we don't need it at all. You position yourself, you change the environment, and the fire is done.
Using field effect rather than the
that's what I
matter
was
level.
Just thinking. That's what I was thinking. Yes. Amazing to see a raging fire, and then with nothing, with just systems positioned around perhaps the exterior rim, all of a sudden the fire just dies out.
Yes. And I'm very sure that we can do that with our soul, with the positioning and with the right intentions. I know it's a far way to go, but for me it is very clear that is the way we should go. Exciting times. But I promise I will make a contact with the inspector. It's time anyway to meet, and he is working for the insurance who pays all this firefighter education. So he's maybe 10 times a year in such a house where they burn wood, to do the training with the firefighters, and it would be no problem to make a test, because there will be no damage because of the guns in these tanks. I'm very sure. So we can take a small pump. We even have at our place, and then see the difference to distinguish with this water or with the other water.
Yeah, cool. That would be good. I know that sometimes they add salt to the water that's sprayed for a more effective fire retardant, or you can
break
you can add it to
the drops.
You can add it to materials. Add salt to drapes or something like that will help prevent them from catching on fire. But perhaps our GANs could be used with extra salt added with it that makes it work better. But of course you can't have salt residue as well, and that's not good for house fires especially. But you can imagine for forest fires where they use fire retardant, that usually a red fire retardant stuff.
Oxygen scavengers.
It gets into the streams and kills the fish, and it's hard on the environment and so on. So it'd be great to be able to replace that material with some sort of GANs combination. Wouldn't that be nice? And perhaps instead of being detrimental to the environment, it actually improves it as you spray it. It puts out the fire, and everybody has a big smile on their face, even when their house got burned down.
And the plants grow back even stronger, naturally, faster.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially with all that carbon available, and which they tend to do after a burn anyway. A lot of plants will take over and grow very rapidly in that burnt
ashes
carbon environment.
As Mr. Keshe has been saying, they've released so much knowledge that it's going to take universities, governments, knowledge seekers, and others to unravel so much of this knowledge, because there's many products to be developed along the way and discoveries to be made, especially even with the universal cup. He's saying there's billions of applications and combinations. So if you did one a day, in a whole lifetime, you would reach 1 billion, or even, I don't know what the number is, but it's not a big number.
Yeah, I think I worked it out roughly, and just the interactions between 8 elements of the cup, just the different cross interactions, is at least 30,000 combinations there. And then if you consider the idea that each of those combinations, like in a coil, each of the coils are actually interacting, as Mr. Keshe was teaching recently. So each coil interacts with each coil across the other side of the cup, and that coil interacts with the other coils, and so that whole number would multiply by probably another 30,000, and you'll get into the billions and trillions of combinations. And then of course everyone makes their GANs differently, and the environment and conditions are different, so there's an infinite, literally an infinite number of combinations that could be had from that basic cup. And every time you add something new to it, another new element, for example, then that just multiplies even more so the different interactions and combinations that could apply.
Just wondering why you said 8 pieces. I thought I counted 10, 3 on top and 3 on bottom and 4 across the center. Are you referring to different or the same materials, or?
I was thinking of the universal cup on the outside has 8 parts.
Okay.
And the center has more elements, but there's 8 on the outside, right? So those eight alone would have those 30,000 interactions, and then you combine that with the ones in the center.
Okay.
It would be, astronomical when you work it all out. But we were looking at the diamond shape at one point, and I don't know if I have that picture right offhand here. Well, we have the cup of the universe. I'll just share it briefly here. So you can see there's 8 around the outside. And if we look at these 8 without the middle ones, and just the interactions, like take the top red element here, and it would interact with the one beside it, and the next one, 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 and the next one. Then the next element also interacts with each of its other 7, and the next one interacts with each of its 7, and so on and so forth. And just those combinations alone can work out to like 30,000 different combinations. And like I say, you start to add the other variables in there, like the numbers of coils interacting with the other coils, and so on.
It's a combination. Yes.
Yeah, and then there's.
Right, and then
I haven't even seen two 1 cups that look the same, out of all the hundreds of, perhaps into the thousands of the 1 cup 1 life that we've seen develop. None of them have been exactly the same as the others. If I make one, it's going to be different than yours. It's going to be different than somebody else on the other side of the world. I had one person that just had this sort of a purplish pink GANs that was created that I've never seen that color before created from. That was actually a second cup. And, so on and so forth. So they're all individual, just with simple, 2 or 3 electrode reactors. We get multiple responses from it, depending on people's individual experiences. So you can just imagine the chaos, in a way, controlled chaos, trying to keep. It's like juggling. It's not too bad to juggle with 1 ball. Most people can juggle with 1 ball. Or 2 balls, you can get away with that. 3 is kind of the beginner's standard for juggling. But to juggle 8 balls, now that takes a pro, right? And then you add 2 more in the middle, all of a sudden, even the pro has trouble switching off from the 8 balls to 10 and swapping them in and out. So maybe that's the juggler, the one in the middle there.
And then imagine the magnets, the influence on each other, the different heights. There are numbers of combinations, possibilities, influences.
And of course the intention.
Everything, is connected together.
We have everyone's might have similar intentions, but it'll never be exactly the same. So essentially we have to multiply all this times 8 billion different human intentions just to mix it up a little.
High potential.
Yeah. So it's life in a jar.
I think Dean has just joined us.
Ah, yes. Hi, Dean. So I kind of like to wrap things up fairly quickly here, but we have a few more minutes we can work with. Trying to keep these meetings to under 2 hours total, so that they can have the potential to be used as part of a KF TV broadcasts and fit into an actual time slot. But and I have some things I have to do after this meeting. So, Dean, what do you have for us? You have anything you'd like to tell us about? Any testimonials or experiences that have happened recently for you?
I think the KF TV International is coming online. It went through a few repairs or coordination of the systems, and I think it's about ready. I'm not sure.
Yeah, might be another week or two is the way I understand it, but I'm not sure. Their facility is nearly done, I think.
Rick, hi, it's Dean here. The facility is coming along extremely well, and it should be completed and ready to start broadcasting fairly soon. So it's the procedure is ongoing, and it should be available fairly soon.
Okay, thanks for the update. Okay, does anyone have anything in particular they would like to present or discuss as a part of our testimonials show here? Well, perhaps we'll wrap up for today then, if that's the case.
Wonderful program, Rick, and everyone.
Thank you for being there, Mark, to help support and be co-host. Maybe you'll want to take over this show one day and put it in your repertoire of hosting shows. Feel free to interject as much as you like in this particular show, especially.
All things are possible. As Jacko said, we don't know any limitations. So we'll probably be changing clothes and doing many different things. I don't mean literally our physical clothes, but working in different dimensions and different places around the universe, and perhaps time here and time there, and nothing permanent. We'll stay very flexible.
Yes, indeed. That's a good way to look at it. We talked about that transition state of between lives and after death and so on. And there's actually a word for it that's good in English called transit. And it's part of the training I took when I was younger was about the transit state, which is the transition state in between lives, in between the death and birth process, is what's called transit, or transition, but transit for short. And that transit is not only after death, but you can practice being in that transit space or that transit dimension at any time, at any moment. In fact, it's available to us in every moment, as are the other aspects of life, or of not life but of existence. So transit is considered one of the 4 aspects of existence, the other 3 being birth and life and death, and then transit. And perhaps it's like a circle, and we can go around on the wheel of karma and go through many lifetimes, or we can decide to get off the wheel of karma and exist in that condition of transit, if we can be so clever as to figure out how to do that. So that's a topic for another time, perhaps for the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which is coming up in a couple of days on Wednesday. That's August 11th at 7 a.m. And of course, tomorrow on Tuesday, August 10th, we have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace with the Universal Council. And that begins at 4 p.m. Central European Time. That's Tuesday, August 10th. So we advise people to check that out if you haven't before. And it's always an interesting dialogue involving usually the more of the soul aspects of the plasma teaching, technology. Anything else I should be announcing here? Alrighty, well, I think we'll wrap it up for today then. This has been the 57th public meeting for testimonials on Monday, August 9th, 2021. Thanks everyone for attending today and giving your testimonials. Special thanks to Jacko here, who gave us a really good show and tell.
It was my pleasure. Thank you all.
Thanks again to Mark for co-hosting today. All right, bye for now. See you in the next public teaching.